Hey guys, I am Lana. This is from Corporate Crystals. We're back for another video. Today we're going to be doing a video about the Divine Mother, finally. I've been asked to hold off on this information until now. I'm going to briefly talk about the Divine Mother, and then there will be future videos where I'm going to dive in deeper, I'm sure. And I'll be talking about the moon finally, because it ties into this, but it's a huge topic. So when we're talking about the Great Awakening and what's happening from a planetary ascension standpoint, the long and short of it, I'm sure some of you have heard this, is the divine feminine energy is rising. Okay, so on a planetary energetic basis, we have been in a masculine dominant energy. And that's not talking about men, gender, it's talking about masculine energy. So even the feminine energies on our planet have been forced, essentially, to be operating in masculine energy due to the matrices, because they support masculine energy, due to society expectations and programming and the hustle and bustle of our planet and the way that we created society, at least in the West. I know this is, depending where you're at in the world, it's not as bad, but I'm in the United States, so I'm like in the matrix. So our world, no matter what country you're in and no matter how it manifests, feminines have been suppressed. Feminine gender as well as feminine energy, okay? So when we're talking about the Great Awakening and what's going on our planet, really what it is feminine energy reclaiming their equality. So this is not about divine feminine energy being, more important than divine masculine energy. No, the entire point is that we both play a role and both parts of the marriage are equally valuable. And that has not been operating on this planet for a very long time, okay? So as twin flames, we play a huge role in this. So I just want to spell this out and kind of build a foundation for us all to kind of like learn from. So at Godhead level, we have, you yourself, when you go through your ascension journey, you're working on balancing your masculine and your feminine energies. The reason you're doing that is in order for you to balance them out at each dimensional level. And then as you balance it out at each dimensional level, you at some point potentially will ascend to the 12th dimension. And while you're at 12th dimension, you have a whole balance of your masculine and feminine energies fully balanced at the Godhead level, where you then merge back with God's source through your balanced energies. And as you merge back with God's source, you're merging back with the Holy Father and the Holy Mother. You are part of the Holy Trinity because you're now merged back. And they call that Hieros Gamos. Okay, so I've talked about this before. Well, what we're talking about is at Godhead level, the Divine Mother, what was happening on our planet is that energetic stream or the energy of the Divine Mother was being manipulated and was being abused, frankly. And I'll get into this deeper in future videos, but basically that inability for the Divine Mother energy to connect back to all of her children, to connect back to all of her creation, because at Godhead level, the feminine is the creatrix. She, energetically or as an embodiment, she is the creator. She is the creatrix. She is fertility. She is abundance. She is all of these things. So without her, nothing would be created. So she plays a very significant role, just like the masculine does, right? We still need the masculine, but the divine feminine, or divine mother in this specific case, energy, without her, there is an imbalance, okay? So the same way that gender females are the ones who are the portals between realms to bring souls onto our planet. They are divinely chosen to be the vessel, not the masculine, the feminine, to create life, to bring souls between realms and have them manifest in physical form into matter in the third dimension. The feminine is the one who is chosen for that. So if you think for a second that the feminine doesn't play a very significant role, you're wrong. Because the feminine created every single person who watches this video, you were created by a feminine, right? So automatically the whole thing is backwards, and people like understand it, but they don't understand it. So that's what this shift is about. The change energetically will get us back slowly but surely to equal energetics on our planet, and a huge crumbling of masculine dominant systems and programs and etc. within our society will crumble, because the energetics of our planet will no longer be able to sustain, because we will be balancing back out. So all of our systems and programming will also need to like align to that energetic, if that makes sense. So if we had a very masculine dominant energetic on our planet, which we did, which is why all of our systems and all of our culture, at least heavily in the West, but everywhere, it's been very masculine dominant. Okay. That meant that all of the feminine energetics also had to lean heavy into their masculine energy in order to survive, because the world was not made for the feminine to feel safe. The world was not made for the systems and the programs, etc., to accommodate the feminine in her very specific energetic. It was designed basically by masculine energy for masculine energy. And so as we talk about equality is a given. The problem is in the way that our society is built, the patriarchy, everything was built with male energetics and kind of like physical form in mind. So it automatically throws everything out of balance. So we're talking about physical matter as well as the energy on the planet. So that energetic imbalance was caused by a lot of things, but it was perpetuated by all of our own shadows, due to how like relationships and things of that sort were happening on the planet. But in the higher realms, what was happening is energy manipulation, and people were trying to harvest the energetics of our planet to essentially mislead people, to throw off the imbalance, to keep people stuck, to keep people not connected to God's source. So it was definitely a Luciferian agenda to disconnect people from their mother, the Divine Mother. So when the energetics of the Divine Mother is not reaching her creation properly, then people feel abandoned by their mother. The same way when you have an abandonment wound because of your own issues with your mother, or an abandonment wound because of your father, or whatever it is, that abandonment wound, our entire planet was going through an abandonment wound because we were unable to connect back to source like we were originally intended to, due to the disconnection or energy manipulation happening with the Divine Mother. So it just kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and that's basically what we're all here to change. So if you're a twin flame on a twin flame journey, that is a huge part of what our mission is to energetically alter the grid of the planet, to change the energetics, balance it back out, which is why our mission is so important about balanced energies, right? And then another really big part of it is, as divine feminines, we are basically doing a bunch of shadow clearing in order to find our power again and feel safe again on this planet. Or I should say in this time matrix, but you get my point. And then as the masculines, who, they have a very important role too. So they basically chose to take on all the energetics of the patriarch And as they take on the energetics of the patriarchy, they literally embody that and then have to clear the shadow of the masculine energies, right? So we both took on the shadow elements that are in the collective consciousness. So that is why this journey is so hard, is because we basically like select all the shadow elements of the collective consciousness for the feminine aspects as well as the masculine aspects. You know, depending on if you're a divine feminine or a divine masculine energetic. We're not talking about gender. So that is a big part of this journey. That is a big part of what this ascension was all about, okay? So the exciting thing is that the Divine Mother is officially home safely. Her energy, Sophia, she is here for all of us to tap into. The energetics have been cleared due to all of our hard work. Everyone who has been part of the ascension journey and clearing the energetics with our own vessels and our own reality, that work has cleared and allowed the energy manipulation that was going on to where the Divine Mother energy was not like reaching her creation as originally intended. She's back, which is freaking beautiful. And that just means that all of the hard work done by everyone on the twin flame journey or otherwise, those spiritual missions, they really, really matter. And we're now going to be seeing the rewards. Anyone who has a difficult relationship with their own mother can, myself included, can talk about how hard it is when that relationship is not going well. So when you don't have a good relationship with your mother, it's painful. Like you wouldn't be here without your mother, right? That is what has been happening on our planet, is we all had very deep wounding because we were unable to truly connect back to God's source as originally intended. And that abandonment wound made us feel disconnected from God. It made us feel disconnected from our mother, the creator. And when you feel disconnected from the creator and the Divine Mother in that way, then you lose faith, you lose hope, you don't believe, right? So a huge part of us kind of in this descension part of humanity is to feel far away from God's source, not knowing that we are going to be ascending back as part of a natural cycle, the precession of the equinoxes. And I'll talk about this in other videos. But that natural descension that we went through had us disconnect from God's source. We felt very far away from God's source, plus manipulation being done to keep us disconnected from the Divine Mother energy. Now, as we are all ascending energetically, we are ascending back into to the fifth dimensional frequency as a planet. People have the ability to connect back to the Divine Mother at this time, officially. And if they choose to do that, and if they choose to ascend to feel Sophia and all of her glory and power, it's pure love. That's what it is. It's pure, unconditional love. It's so beautiful. But everyone has access to it now through their ascension journey. And I wanted to just make sure to call that out because it's done. Also interesting to note is Sophia, the meaning of the word is wisdom. And I think that ties in very greatly to the power of the Divine Mother. This reclamation of the Divine Mother energy, Divine Feminine in general, that's why we've been hearing Divine Feminine rising, right? This is all part of it. She was sitting there in grief and loss and a lot of sadness because she was disconnected from her creation. She was disconnected from her children. So imagine a mother who is having difficulty with her children that she birthed, she brought onto this planet. She has an energetic attachment forever to these children. And they were essentially pushing her away. They were essentially abusing her. They were essentially thinking that she didn't love them. That's what it was. It's a huge abandonment wound because of that disconnect in energy. All of humanity thought that they were alone and like were disconnected from their mother. It was all subconscious. So this is not conscious thoughts, of course. But so, Sophia was just sitting there, sad, grieving, and in loss, waiting for humanity, first of all, energetically, to be able for people to like feel her love again, but then also waiting for people to want to receive her love again, to believe that she loves them, to allow them to feel her love. And that's the beautiful part, is like that all is available to people now, which is so incredible. That's also playing into why the energetics have kind of balanced back out now. And so we will be having external reality shifts to align to that frequency and that energy now. So the patriarchy and all things that were kind of created within that are no longer an energetic match. So that is why the external reality will be shifting as well. So the Divine Mother was essentially disconnected from her children and in a lot of pain. As that happened, some of the wounds that, Divine Mother energy was experiencing, they actually are symbolic to what mothers, your own mother, or if you're a mother, would feel. And I wanted to like reference it and call it out because it's very important. Lack of support, people not understanding her, people disrespecting her, people taking her for granted, not seen as a unique individual, but simply, it could show up in a few different ways, like a milk machine, or objectified sexually, right? Or even just now you've lost your sense of self because you've become a mother and that's all you're good for now, or whatever. Projected onto with other people's, opinions and views. Told that she's not a good enough mother, right? And not respected for her wisdom and her equal part in all of creation, in this equation that she plays a very significant role in, right? So those wounds are not only symbolic of the emotions that, Sophia was experiencing during this disconnect, but that energetic is a representation of all mothers. And those wounds are felt by mothers at a variety of different places of their journey of motherhood. And you could think about the way you treat your mother, and you could think about the way that you show up with mothers in your reality. And there is a lot of wounding there that needs to be worked through collectively. And it is being worked through at the highest dimensions energetically to like allow it to be felt and kind of like manifest through all the other dimensions. But I wanted to call it out because one of the biggest issues on our planet are childhood wounds, right? And a big part of the energy manipulation that was going on was an attack on the nuclear family. It was throwing men into passive energies, and women had to step up into masculine energies. So it threw the polarity off, it threw the dynamics off. And it forced women to be masculine heavy, and then men became more passive, right? Not everyone, but you get my point, just as an overall rule. Those imbalances created issues within family dynamics as well. And within those family dynamics, it then created a lot of wounding that I'm sure we all can relate to, where we had mommy issues or daddy issues, and they show up in our romantic relationships in a bunch of different ways. The twin flame journey has like everything to do with this. So as these wounds have healed, not only within ourselves and also on the planet, and if you're still working through these wounds of your own journey, there's no shame. You're at the perfect place on your journey. There's just some people who like they did it sooner or whatever. But as those wounds are being worked through, it is also being worked through collectively in our collective consciousness, in the collective shadow. And the reason I want to call this out is because it not only is kind of the celebration of divine feminine energy and divine mother being home, the rising of divine feminine energy on our planet, and the reclamation of divine mother kind of feeling safe at home in her own creation again. There's also a lot of that will be playing out collectively with mothers as well, or childhood trauma stemming from mothers, or even fathers, right? Because the fathers came from a mother. Everyone comes from a woman. So there is a lot of collective wounding that is being healed energetically as this all happens. So I wanted to call it out because it is very, very important. And I'm sure you guys have experienced this not only in your own reality, in your own journey, but also you can see it in the collective. People have been in a lot of darkness, navigating their own deep wounding, and a lot of it is stemming from childhood trauma. And that is nothing to feel shame about. You can't pick the family that you were born into. Well, you technically did on a soul level, but like from a human perspective, you're just born into it. It is what it is. There's no shame in the family that you came from. It's actually a gift because they're some of your greatest teachers. And I know that perspective shift takes a while to get there. So if you're not there, that's okay. I'm definitely not trying to trigger you. But as we heal our parental wounds, whatever wounds we picked up from childhood, it actually allows us to more deeply connect with ourselves, one another, and the planet. And that is a big part of what I wanted to kind of call out in this video is connect with yourself, with each other, and the planet, because it is safe to do so. And all of the work that you're doing internally is making it even easier for the rest of the collective, for your future family, if you don't have a family yet, and future generations, no matter if you are creating a child to participate in those generations or not. Everyone has a really unique and beautiful and important role in this. And it's the work that we have all done to clear the shadow for the collective is making it safer for everybody to not only be themselves, but to be with one another, connect with one another again. And then of course, future generations who hopefully won't have to have as deep a shadow because we're going to have the energetics to support them and the tools and the resources and the wisdom, because Sophia is wisdom, and they can tap into it themselves and they can continue to ascend. And yeah. So it's beautiful. I just wanted to call it out, and I hope you guys have experienced Sophia yourself, and if not, you will as you continue to ascend. Again, it just feels like pure love. It's unconditional love. You cannot miss it. So I look forward to when all of you have experienced that. And if you're not there yet, that's okay. Keep doing your healing work. Clear your shadow, and it's something to look forward to because it makes this journey such a beautiful journey when you are connected to unconditional love, like literally forever. And how beautiful that that's like what our future looks like too. You know what I mean? So, okay, I'm gonna stop there. I hope you guys have a really awesome day, and I'll see you on the next video. Okay, bye.